What is going on, everybody? Brent Abel here, goldballhunting.com. That knucklehead over there, the great Jeff Jacklich, trying to, I don't know, see if I can't go into a total giggle fest here. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it, Jeff. So, guys, thanks for hanging out with us again. Today, another episode of the Gold Ball Hunting Podcast. And, Jeff, we're going to talk about the realities of sitting on the fence a little bit too long.
Yeah, painful.
Ouch.
So the big question is this. How are tennis players like us who never played on the tour, weren't incredible juniors, or maybe got a late start to the game, how do we consistently compete at our highest skill level without having to grind through endless hours of on-court practice time and still be in the hunt for the victory match after match? That is the question, and Gold Ball Hunting gives you the answers by helping you eliminate your skill level range so that you build a strong foundation of confidence. My name is Jeff Jacklich, and along with Brent Abel, my partner, welcome to Gold Ball Hunting.
All right, guys. Hey, listen. Happy New Year. Almost there. Almost the end of a decade. Man, 2020 coming up. I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it. I got some things I am going to do in the next decade.
And I mean it.
I'm taking it. I'm getting off the fence. I'm taking it to another level.
You know, one more time around the sun, and I'm not even winded.
Wow. Wow. That sounds like, I don't know what that sounds like, but it sounds like pretty confident. That's good, man. That's good. So you're heading, where you go? You're going to Modesto or are you going to Napa today? I know you're going somewhere.
Heading up to Napa here in a few minutes.
Okay,
yeah.
That's right. All right. Well, you're in bedroom number 3 there, here.
Office.
Shea Abel.
Yeah. Shable,
Moraga, California. Guys, hope you're having a great day so far. We've been chatting briefly about the 2 workshops that Jeff and I are hosting in the desert coming up January 16th and 17th, Thursday and Friday next month. And we're just about sold out. So I guess the theme today is that if you're sitting on the fence, depending on the type of fence, ouch. I mean, if it's like one of those heavy cattle barbed wire things, do it. Make a decision.
Yeah.
Make a decision here. If you're sitting on the wall, okay, Humpty Dumpty style, I get it.
Yeah,
okay,
you know.
comfortable. Weather's nice out there. It's warm. The sun's coming down. I got time. To make a decision here.
Yeah.
So before we get into today's topic, which is going to be about the workshops, is if you've been sitting on the fence, I don't know. I think one of the days is sold out, right? Was it Friday?
Friday sold out. Yeah.
Friday sold out.
And
what we got Thursday? We got 3 spots on Thursday or something?
I think so. Yeah. 3 spots. Yeah.
So if this is something you want to do, and we're to talk more about it in today's episode, I highly recommend that you go quickly look at the information video on these workshops if you haven't seen that yet. If you've seen it or if you know that you want in, then right down below is also another link that will take you to the application because we're demanding. We're not asking. We're demanding that everyone apply so that we make sure that we've got everybody. Yeah. It's a right fit for you. It's a right fit for the other campers on that day as well. So pick one of those 2 links, get going because I don't want you to miss out. One of the things that we're kind of going through, what do you call it, the curriculum or something, really kind of fine tuning that this morning, Jeff, is we want to help everyone find what is your baseline for consistency. And the reason for that, it all gets back to skill level range, right? So skill level range, reducing skill level range is really about becoming a consistent shot maker, about becoming a consistent court positioning player. And that when you do that, when you find your baseline for consistency, you really build confidence. And I think too often what happens, Jeff, and I'm gonna let you kind of go off on this little kind of tangent here, is players have the ability. We all do. We all have this ability And let's take the forehand groundy, for example. We all have the ability to go out there and once in a while, you know, we line this thing up and we go up the line and we just hit it cleaner than a frickin' whistle. The guy over there never has a chance. It's a clean winner, and boomski. And our brain goes, Brent, why can't you do that every frickin' time? And the answer comes back, well, let's see if we can. And then,
Right.
and then the cold reality is the next 3 times you try it, you know, you shank it wide, you shank it deep, you shank it in the net. So it's that kind of that false advertising that when you hit one really good shot is that you think, well, I can replicate, I can duplicate that. Look, if you could hit that one great shot over and over again, you wouldn't be winning gold balls. You'd probably be on the tour.
Right.
I mean, even the gold ballers miss the easy one now and then.
It happens.
It happens. So how do we help players, Jeff, kind of shift their mindset from thinking, well, God, I've hit that one. So, and everyone's got that one serve, the one return,
Right.
the one topper backhand passing shot. But trying to repeat that one really good shot is a recipe for frustration and for never really kind of finding that what do we call it? The foundation, the foundation of confidence.
Yeah, I think, we're so tuned into the highlight reel of tennis. ESPN highlight reel, tennis channel highlight reel, YouTube highlight reel. And the reality is when you watch a whole match, even if, it's great, you go on YouTube, you can get the whole match condensed, edited out already. So you can watch a 2 out of 3 set match in 20 minutes, which I think is awesome. It's great. But if you really actually went point by point and watched the greats, you're not seeing painted line after painted line after painted line. You're just not. The reality is that, wow, look at how many times did he hit that ball at the middle of the court? How many times did she hit the ball at the middle of the court? But she beat the crap out of that girl, or he beat the crap out of her, or whatever. And the reality is that the production of the point is really task oriented, task based. It's not winner oriented. Don't let the other guy touch the ball oriented. And so when the reality of getting over that hump mentally, to the point where you stay task oriented, what's the best ball I should hit right here in this situation, and then where should I go to next, really solves a lot of problems. I mean, it really solves a lot of problems for you out there if you can start to reduce down the complexity of trying to win matches by not letting your opponent touch the ball.
Yeah.
That is just, man, that is like trying to build a car with a hammer and nails. I mean,
It really gets back to finding what is your tolerance for consistency.
Right.
And everyone's different. And like what we're doing in the workshop in January, the 2 workshops in January, is we're not telling you that you have to change this stroke technique. You can bring whatever stroke technique you want to bring. If let's use the forehand again. If you want to bring a full-blown Western, lag, snap, and wipe, that's fine.
Right.
But you've got to be able to discover with whatever technique you've got is what is your baseline for consistency. And really the baseline for consistency is based on really a couple things. Number one is how consistent are you with the spacing that you need to create with your feet in relation to the path of that incoming ball, so that whatever technique you want to have or whatever technique you want to bring, that you can make the ball land relatively close to that spot over there over and over and over again. And so spacing is one thing. The other thing is swing speed. Swing speed. I mean, look, you may have to slow it down a hair just to be able to become consistent. And once you become a consistent shot maker, once you become a consistent court positioner, that's when your skill level range reduces. Now, look, we're not talking about if you got to go out and play Fed, all bets are off.
Right.
Um,
he does all those things better than you.
Yeah, right. And if you're playing someone who's really not at your skill level, who's well below, that's not a good indicator of what
Right.
your baseline for consistency is, because that player over there is going to cough up, an inordinate number of points to you, which gives you this false belief, well, I can keep going for it, and you're not really
Right.
consistent. Excuse me. But it's more finding that baseline of consistency against someone who's really at your own skill level. And
Right.
once you find that, then what you're going to discover is that, wait a minute, I'm winning a ton of points without hitting that shot that I described in the beginning, which is that I lined the forehand up the line and, man, just cracked it,
Right.
dinged it. Guy never had a chance, right? And so the workshop is really going to help you discover what is your baseline for consistency with whatever technique you've got, right?
Right.
And if you're missing a target too often, we're not going to tell you, well, tweak this or tweak that. We're just going to say to you, what do you have to do? What do you have to do to be able to hit that target more often?
Right.
And you're going to discover on your own what that is. And it's and once you find what your baseline for consistency is, in really kind of the four most important shots of the game: the serve, the return, and then the next shot. And the next shot could be a forehand, it could be a backhand. And once you discover what your baseline for consistency is with each of those four shots, given whatever technique you want to bring to the party, that's when you reduce skill level range, and that's when you become a confident player. And that's when you start to win those close matches that you're not winning right now. I'm not talking about playing Fed. You're going to lose 100% of the time to Fed. And I'm not talking about playing, my mom who passed away in 1979, right? You're going to beat her, okay, 100% of the time, right? But really against those players who really are at your exact same skill level. And,
right.
and once you find that baseline of consistency, in the beginning, you'll probably stay at about 50% winning and losing against that same skill level player.
Right.
But over time, you'll start to build some confidence and start to trust your baseline of consistency that it can win you more points than what you're winning right now.
Right.
And now you're going to start to win more and more of those matches, and that's when you start to raise your skill level. So I think there's this big false belief, Jeff, that I need to. We had an episode recently about out techniquing your opponent.
Right.
And that's not where winning is formulated. I mean, you could all day long try to recreate that dinger up the line off the ball machine. Great, off the ball machine, you're cool, man. But dang it, in a real match, I mean, and I'll bet you that when you hit that dinger up the line in the real match, it was 1-1 in the first set.
Right.
It wasn't 5-6 in the third.
Right. Add out. Add in.
Or maybe it was 5-6 in the third, and you were just trying to hope and go cross court. And
yeah.
You up and you got a little late, and boom, oh, there it goes up the line.
I'll take it.
So that's kind of what we want to help you guys do. And we'll make this short because I know, Jeff, you got to get out the door and hit the road.
Yeah.
But if you were on the fence about one of these workshops, either one of these, either Thursday. Well, Thursday's the only date available now. I guess we could take a backup list for Friday. If someone should.
Yeah, someone wants to be on the waiting list. Yeah.
Yeah. But this is what we're going to help you do, and it's really all about becoming a confident, consistent shot maker. We didn't say confident, consistent, outright winner shot maker,
No.
because nobody does that.
Yeah.
Nobody does that. You look at all the top guys, they just don't do that. So
Not happening.
if you want to learn how to do that, how to kind of get into that discovery mode, we'll hope that you jump off that heavy cattle barbed wire fence that.
Yeah. I think too that, you know, the opportunity to be around, you know, like-minded players that have an interest in actually winning more matches.
Yeah.
And also an interest in, you know, changing the lens they look through and seeing the game a little differently, given their age, given their skill set, what's tangible, what's doable, what's a little pie in the sky idea that maybe we should let go of certain things. What works for you individually? Do we have previous injuries that we're dealing with? Do we have a limited range of motion in some instances and on some certain shots? And are you trying to ignore the fact that you don't have the same range of motion anymore? So you're counter-producing the stroke because you're trying to do something that you physically just can't do. Doesn't mean we can't be effective. It just means we got to make a little adjustment there and understand what we're trying to get done.
When you talk about physicality, I mean, look, the whole thing starts with let's assume that everyone's in great shape. Now there's kind of pie in the sky right there.
That's a great assumption.
God, did I say that?
I'm not sure I can go any farther with this discussion because I'm having trouble with that one.
That was kind of harsh, a little harsh, Brenny. But let's assume that that everyone's in great shape. Well, if that's it, then it's all mental. It's all in terms of making that mind shift from thinking I want to hit the dinger that I just hit. How do I do that over and over and over again? And then if mentally you can make the mind shift to that, well, then let's deal with the reality of, you know what, we need to get you in a little bit better shape.
Right.
Because if you'll do that, then you can become a consistent. Look, I mean, you can go out in the ball machine for, you know, your 30 minutes and you know, be out of shape and be fine. Right. And you can go into a set, maybe even a set and a half, be out of shape and be fine. And the next thing you know is all of a sudden I can't get over to that ball that I was getting over there just 20 minutes ago. And how's that work out? It doesn't work out. You can't, there's no way to work around that. You know, there's not a workaround for being out of shape if you want to win that close match. Because in theory, a close match means that it's not 1-1. A close match is probably either 5-6 or 4 in the third.
Right.
Well, that's a time duration that's not 1-1. And so, and that may be part of the workshop. I think we'll have to have a little discussion on fit.
A little discussion on that, yeah.
Just a little.
Probably.
Just a little thing. Guys, right down below this video, there's 2 links. One is if you've not watched the workshop video or information video that Jeff and I did recently, just click that and check it out. You'll see everything that you get. And there's really kind of 3 parts to this workshop. There's a pre-workshop webinar. Right now we have tentatively scheduled that for Monday. What's the date on that? The 13th?
The 13th, yeah.
Monday 13th
Pacific time.
Yeah, it's
Pacific time.
It's for workshop attendees, and if you can't make it, no problem. We will record the video, but it'll be live, and we're going to kind of lay out how we want you to be thinking before you get to the actual workshop. We want to sort of set a path for you in terms of mindset, and certainly there'll be a time for any Q&A that you want to ask any questions. And then during the day of the workshop it's 5 hours in the court. It's actually 3 hours off the court. There's a working lunch, and then there's a post workshop day. Kind of a special guest is coming in to might be a couple of beverages and poo-poos. I don't know, something like that as well. Can make it fun. Yeah. And then afterwards we've got 4 webinars lined up, as just because we got to keep you guys engaged. I mean, if you're going to show up for this thing, it's one thing. It's kind of like a tennis lesson where someone shows up, they go through, and you know, Jeff, as well as I do, when they walk out the gate, the first two steps, the first step is like 20%'s gone. The next step is 15 more percent's gone. And it's like, at the end of the day, it's like, so we got to keep you guys engaged. So we've got 4 webinars post workshop lined up to make sure that you are staying on the tracks. And then if you already know that you want in, guys, there's a application that you got to fill out. We make sure we got everyone in the right group. Friday's sold out. Yep. There's only a few spots left on Thursday. So if you want in, jump off that fence and fill out that application, and we'll hopefully get you in there. Jeff, what do we want the fine folks to do right now?
Like us, share us, please subscribe. Let us know what you think down below. iTunes and Stitcher, rate and review. Goldballhunting.com. Come on.
Go for it.
Come on.
All right. Guys, get out there today. I'm actually headed over to Berkeley Tennis Club. I'm going to go have a little gusher on the bike and do my core and all that good stuff.
Good deal.
Yeah, that'll work out. Guys, get out there today. Help someone else have a great day. Jeff, let's do this again tomorrow.
Can't wait.